Hey, what's going on, everyone? I trust all is well. Welcome back to another episode of Right Now Leaders. My name is Andre Early. I am with the Early Impact Empowerment Group. We are back once again to have yet another conversation. Mr. Energy,
Yes,
talk
sir.
to me. At least introduce yourself to everyone again.
Hello, everyone. Torrance Trainham, founder and chief talent officer of the D9 Resume Exchange. I'm also the executive director of the D9 Emerging Leaders, where we have a ton of fun with the fellowship, bringing up our young people through mentorship and internship and sponsorship opportunities.
Cool. Josh.
Joshua Robinson, originally from right outside of Atlanta, living in Harlem, and currently working in finance.
Awesome. Awesome. Welcome once again. I believe I ended the last episode saying, we might bring Mr. T back.
And here I am.
And here you are. Thank you. I greatly appreciate it. Today's topic, I believe we're going to have a conversation about branding. Branding is kind of broad, but nonetheless, I remember, from a branding perspective and just in general, I remember my dad. Watch what you do out there.
That's right.
You know, a man is only as good as his word.
Mm.
Fast forward, there are still individuals that don't recognize me without a bow tie.
That is.
Just branding. What is branding? Why is it critical? And because I actually want to talk about also something that came up the last time, a certain festival that
Which
that
has
we'll
some
talk-
great branding.
had some great branding.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Pre social media days. But
Mhm.
What's branding, sir?
It's identity. It's what folk will understand you as, remember you as. That's the whether it be the rosy colored glasses or the not so rosy colored glasses that they'll view you through. And listen, it could actually not even be steeped in fact. It's really about perception. And so I think it's extremely important for us to be very intentional, the word that you used before that I love, and understanding how to curate that brand or how to curate that perception that you want for others to receive. Because we're always selling, whether it be selling our identity, selling our skill sets, we're selling ourselves. And that brand, the consistency of anything that we do that's consistent will ultimately be your brand. And so if you're someone who shows up on time consistently, that's going to be part of your brand. Someone who wears bow ties and dressed as astute as Mr. Early is right now, that's going to become part of your brand if you do that consistent enough.
I didn't know that was.
Oh, it's definitely a part of his brand.
Wait,
bow tie.
hold on.
Yes.
You know what? You did this the last time. We're not going to make this about me, sir.
But if the illustration
there-
is in
there
front of
there is, believe it or not, there is a story about the bow tie.
that's part of your, that's tied to your brand.
Yes, sir.
Did I just make this up or what? What are we talking about, right? I mean, it's how people remember you as, but also I want to be very clear that it should be somewhat authentic. It shouldn't be a dress up. It should be something that you can be consistent with, something that you can speak to, and something that you can stand on as it relates to your brand.
Okay. All right.
I mean, I could go on, but I don't want to.
Well, so let me share this
Yes,
with you
sir.
guys. The bow tie thing was by accident.
Interesting.
It was by accident, but then it actually became intentional because I always wanted to learn how to tie a bow tie.
Okay.
Never took the time to just sit down and learn, But so I was down in the city. I was in a bodega, and some dude rushes in. Let's just say, first and foremost, it's a blessing that I don't look my age.
Agreed. I will
Okay?
say that.
So, and now I'm going back. This is about 2009, right? So even in that year, I did not look my age,
Mhm.
but apparently I fit the description.
As an old man?
No,
Oh,
Slight job.
I just like right. No, but I fit the description. So this quote unquote undercover, whatever, came in and looked at me and just started frisking me. And
Oh,
I'm sitting here like, what the? I'm like, dude, what are you doing? Like, buy me a drink first. Like, what are you? Get off me. Oh, we thought you were someone else. I'm like, really? I'm just buying some cookies.
mm.
But nonetheless, that day I was just like, how do I go around
Oh,
living my life just in the streets, just hanging out or just going to the store, but then not fitting a description?
hmm.
How do we subtly stand out? And that's what actually encouraged me to learn how to tie a bow tie.
Get out.
And and I started wearing them. And then all of a sudden it just became part of the brand
Hmm.
of Early. So, and now quite a few, they'll tease me from time to time because sometimes I don't wear the tie.
Hmm.
But they're like, wow, we didn't recognize you without your bow tie.
Hmm.
You know.
I got some follow-up questions.
Uh,
What type of reception were you getting once you noticed when you were wearing the bow tie?
I stood out. So I was different.
Mm-hmm.
And even at the time, not too many of those that we know, that belong to a certain organization, all of us weren't wearing bow ties.
Gotcha. I wonder if people thought you were smarter.
I hope not.
They'd have been wrong. But I'm just wondering if that's what they thought.
Who knows?
And I just find it funny that branding, again, doesn't necessarily, clearly it don't have to be fact if they thought you were smart, right?
Exactly.
But what I'm saying is the branding element, what I love about the branding element,
Another one.
This is what I do.
That's my little bro. So that's what he does.
what I
So,
love
yeah.
about the branding element is how intentional you can be about it. You can pretty much paint whoever you want to be in a person's mind, especially if it's closer to who you are authentically, if that makes sense. I love branding.
That makes sense. But so now, fast forward, we're dealing with social media. Now, believe it or not, I'm not really on social media like I used to be
Okay.
because of what people put out. Because you don't know who that person is.
Is it too much intentional branding?
Yes.
Too much intentional branding.
Yes. You're only putting out what you want people to see and or believe, right? With me, for the most part, this is me.
Yep.
And you look at social media. And then the other thing was, I guess because I'm old school, going out, what meant you're going out to enjoy yourself, enjoy your friends, enjoy the company. If you're at a
You
club,
crazy? You can't.
Yeah, you go out now, everyone has to stop and pull out the phone. And I'm like, yo, you have to live in a moment.
Right. Oh, that's too old. Listen, I'm sorry.
Nah, you good.
That's old way of thinking. That's us.
Okay.
Put your phone down, okay? You gotta enjoy this moment. No, they
Enjoy
gotta
the
capture it.
They gotta.
They gotta capture it.
So what do they do after they capture it? I mean, don't get me wrong.
I think they look back at the replay to see what they missed. I think they capturing it because in the moment they're too busy capturing it. So I'm just gonna look at it later to see how much fun I did enjoy. Oh, you go to a club. Do you youngins do clubs? Sorry, I don't want to derail this. You go to clubs?
Sometimes.
How many of y'all dance?
I feel like depending on the city, and I feel like my friends dance. Like,
Okay, all right. So you might be an anomaly though.
but I get I get
You jokers aren't dancing at a place that was designed to dance in. It's just crazy. I'm sorry. Social media.
That's my point.
Right.
I'm not standing in a line, paying this money,
Paying to stay in the line.
paying to stay in a line, to get up in a spot
That I
and
can't sit down
No
in.
one is dancing.
Right.
Well, what's the point?
Listen, to be on your phone, say you're part of the vibe. New people stuff though. That's past that. We shouldn't be in anybody's club anyway. How about that?
Well, that's fair. Because my days are definitely over.
Definitely.
When it comes to that, I'm a day party guy. So,
Age.
the
Can't stay out past 9.
It's the day party season of my life now, and I've embraced it, and I'm okay with it.
I'm with you.
I'm okay with it.
I'm with you.
So when it comes to early career hires, they know nothing but technology.
Yep.
As they're out there trying to navigate their career journey, recruiters, HR,
Yep.
social media research, and what they see when they look at a potential employee. How do they navigate all that?
As a recruiter myself who looks at social media, I want to bifurcate the different types of social media, because one thing I do is I don't ding too many people looking at their Instagram accounts or even Facebook accounts. Now, on their LinkedIn pages, again, a place where a culture is set where it's meant to be somewhat professional. If you got bottles and all that good stuff in your hands showing pictures on LinkedIn, that lets me know right then and there that you clearly, your spatial awareness is off.
Right.
And so that's a whole nother conversation. But what we're, and I'm hopeful many applicants know that recruiters and employers are looking at the social media. In fact, all you have to do is Google the name and all of your social media information is coming up. So we almost don't have a choice in the matter. When we're recruiting a candidate and we're truly taking them serious, we want to get to know them. We get to learn about them even before we speak to them. So we have something to say, if that makes sense. So we can have a conversation. And so when you're starting to see certain things on social media that you don't even intend to see, it can certainly sway a recruiter's mind one way or the other in terms of, I might as well go with this candidate as opposed to this candidate, because this candidate is still a reflection of my work. I'm the recruiter, and so if I put someone up that's, maybe not so becoming, that person who's doing the interviewing is going to look at me crazy.
Right.
And so my incentive is to make sure I put the best fit, the right candidate that's going to do well on the team first. And so if I'm looking at your social media and I can tell the managers wouldn't even approve of some of the things that are on social media, I'm not putting that up there just because it's in your nature. Listen, even if it's, again, branding, perception is reality. Even if it's not true, this just could have been somebody who decided not to post these things, but they could have done everything that I saw the other person doing on their social media. But yet and still, branding is everything. Your reputation is going to precede you, even on social media. In fact, on social media.
Okay.
And so it's extremely important that you're intentional about how people are going to perceive you. Virtually, and when you show up in person, it's pretty much the same thing. It's the same effect that's going to take place thereafter.
I got you.
Branding is critical.
Branding is critical.
This is your world, so.
Yeah. I think it's two-sided, because you also can't control how people are going to perceive you.
Oh, good one.
Mm-hmm.
Like, so regardless of how I may show up in a corporate space, I'm still going to, I'm Black, so people may perceive me as such. I can't control that. No matter how I present myself or what my work may be like, this may be as far as their perception of me goes. And so that's one case. But also, I'm a big proponent of the fact that your reputation should precede who you are. So it's like, before, how would someone introduce you to someone else or you to someone else? Like, what are they going to lead off by saying who you are? And I think, for me, that's important.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not just my name, but it's like my reputation comes before my name. So before you even get to know, who I am, you know what I'm about first. And I think that's super critical in terms of just, it goes a long way in making, when people are speaking on your behalf.
No question about it.
Yeah. Your brand is, I think your brand is important when people are speaking on your behalf, because once someone is familiar with their brand, and now it's it creates another opportunity, someone's more willing. It's if Chick-fil-A, you're going to get good service, good food. It's people are going to want to come. And it's you don't have to go to a Chick-fil-A to want to go there. You just see someone who may have ate it and they're like, yo, that was good, great service. I enjoy going there. So now you're going to be inclined to go to Chick-fil-A. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that, it's interesting because I'm looking at it from a perspective of consistency. So I don't know about you two. Yeah, I'm pretty sure. For me, I have a wide network. I have different circles, right? However, I am aware that I have to be consistent because my circles don't really intersect too often. but then again, that's by design. However, however, if someone from one segment, one sector of this over here is to meet and have a conversation, I really would like it to be consistent.
Great point.
You know, I mean, that's just me.
I'm sorry. I'm processing right now because Josh even mentioned about what were we talking about? Oh man, just escaped my brain just now. No, don't do this.
Welcome to the world of senior
I
moments.
know. It'll come to me. I'm sorry, Andre. Keep talking.
Nah, but your point on consistency, I think is important. Just because it creates a continuity for someone to be able to understand like more of who you are before they even have a chance to meet you.
That's it. Sorry, it just came back to me.
It came back.
And that's important because when you're wanting to establish a sense of trust, like when you have a good rapport, and somebody can, and it's again consistent. Like if you talk to 5 different people about Andre Early, and they all say honesty comes up in every conversation, like in terms of a character trait, right? That it's okay. Now I can establish a sense of trust in that regard. It's like, okay, I hear you're an honest person, so I might be more willing to approach you to do business or something in that regard, just because of what I've heard other people have referenced about who you are. You know,
Other people, and that's what the thought I forgot. It's Josh actually gave me a better understanding of the difference between branding and marketing, branding and promotion. I feel as if you're in the conversation of branding, me as the subject, I can't say anything. Like it's all about what everyone else perceives what my brand is. The moment I start saying the same thing you're saying about my brand, I think that's promotion. You know?
Okay.
Now I'm promoting.
Right.
It's not branding. It's 2 totally different things. The moment I start saying the amazing things about the D9 Resume Exchange and all of the wonderful accomplishments we've had, well, I'm on the side of marketing right now. But that's also a part of our brand. And so the hope is that whatever we're promoting in marketing, the market picks it up and then it turns into branding. And so that precedes anything we can say about ourselves or anything. It's about what the market is saying about us. What is the market saying about Andre Early? Without him even saying anything or showing up. If you got any and everybody together in one room who had an experience with Andre Early, what are they all saying? And in my mind, the best brands are the ones that are going to say that you're going to see a whole bunch of continuity and the same remarks being said about Andre Early. Yeah. That's branding, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
It makes sense.
Okay.
Now,
yes, sir.
You're going to have to stop talking about me.
Sorry, but is
this where I have to get comfortable with being uncomfortable?
How about that?
Because you're making me uncomfortable.
Is it wrong?
I don't like talking about myself.
I'm talking about, see, that's the brand.
Yes, sir.
That's your brand.
Yes,
I'm
sir.
able to talk about you as an individual and your brand without you even having to say a word. Anything that I said about this young man, old man, has it been wrong or inerrant or anything you haven't experienced?
Older.
No, it's on par.
And we just met today.
Yeah.
So his brand must be intact in my mind.
Yeah.
Okay. So sorry we're talking about you, but we're talking about you, Mr. Early.
So as the early career hires who, were born into technology and know, just social media and the nuances and all that, how do they navigate, what they experience, what they're exposed to, and then as they are on their way on this career journey?
You asking me or Josh?
I mean,
well, since
Yeah.
there's
that's
nuances.
a Josh question.
There's nuances. I think you just have to have an understanding of whatever you're putting out there. How could their perception affect a desired result that you want for yourself? And so, if you think that maybe a picture or something that you want to post about could have an outcome that isn't in alignment with what you want, maybe you can post it on a private account or under separate your worlds. You know what I mean? Or this would be a good analogy. It's like the way like a Chick-fil-A might be doing branding or marketing in Atlanta might be different than how they approach like in LA. So you have different brands based on who your audience is.
Same chicken though.
Same chicken.
Yes, sir.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like, if I know this is my Instagram account, I'm gonna keep this clean. If I know I'm applying to corporate, then this is the account that's gonna come up. I might keep this chill, you know. But I might have another account where you can't necessarily access that I might be more authentically, or just a different side. I might show a different side of another brand of myself that doesn't necessarily have any influence on how I show up in this world.
Yes, sir.
But it's just understanding that, you know, I'm a dynamic person.
And that's a good thing, by the way.
Yeah, I'm not always at work.
Right.
I'm not always at work.
That's a good thing.
This isn't always how I'm showing up, but it doesn't. Two things could be true, and they don't have to. It doesn't necessarily always have a direct correlation on how one's going to show up in a different
1,000%.
I agree. I guess maybe because of the way that the world works now, it's so small because you just have access. And who's to say, you know, when or how those two, quote unquote, accounts collide, or because at the end of the day, there's going to be someone in the professional, you know, on a professional side that might get exposed to that personal side.
Yeah, and I think that's just part of life.
Okay.
Because you can't separate. I mean, you can't always separate the two, and I don't think you should fault someone for if they're doing something they enjoy that somebody in a different space may look at as like, I don't want that. I don't think you should have to limit something you enjoy doing or posting about or whatever for the sake of like a perceived opportunity that you may not even get. So sometimes I'll worry about what I'm posting on social media, but it's like, you know, at the end of the day, like, I understand that it could have some influence, but it may not even matter. And so I should just post what I want. And
okay.
If you can be okay with if you can understand like the consequences.
There we go. Okay.
If you can be okay.
Okay. There you go.
Yep.
There you go.
Post whatever you want.
Because
Just know
honestly,
it's not
because you know, not to be funny, but
Yeah.
I expect that from younger generation. Like I expect that, and that's fine. You know, I guess as we, you know, got a little older and, you know, just our experiences, I know there are certain things that I can't post.
Yeah.
You know, and that's just it. You know, fortunately or unfortunately, I don't know. But you know, from your perspective, because you know, once again, you guys were, you know, you're coming up in a whole different era, you know, than us, and that is going to be part of, you know, your overall journey, and how do, you know, your contemporaries, your colleagues, your friends navigate all that?
Yeah.
You know, because you know, there are times when I'm like, damn, you know what? I would not want to be raised, you know, in this current generation.
Yeah. I mean, it's an interesting conversation because at the same time, just because somebody is not posting about it doesn't mean that it's not happening.
That's what I was going to say.
Let's say if employers worried about drinking.
Right.
Okay, yeah, this person doesn't post anything about drinking, but this person does, but they're having similar experience outside of work. Like they're still all drinking. So are we worried about perception? Like how this person will be perceived, or we want more honesty? Because I could say, okay, this person's upfront. I could trust that person. Whereas like, this is buttoned up and cleaned up, but I really don't know. I don't know who you are, or like more about you. I would have, maybe this person has more credibility because they're open and sharing. Like, yeah, I might overindulge sometimes.
Right.
You know, so it just depends on.
I love where your head is, and I think all of that is true. But I'm also I was a subject matter expert in unconscious bias, and the way our brains work, we all run on shortcuts. Yeah. It's all shortcuts, and especially if it's your job, like a recruiter, to assess, analyze, and figure out who's going to move to the next stage. We tend to rely a lot on unconscious biases to motivate some of the decisions. I'm talking people in general. Yeah. And when you start to bring up, oh, well, maybe this person is, or you start making assumptions about people based on what you don't see.
Yeah.
That's not kind of how we operate.
Yeah.
We're going to see what we see, and we're going to make some decisions based on what we see.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So if she's twerking,
Yeah.
but yet she applied and she's qualified, but she's twerking, that's going to be a branding element in that person's mind that they're going to consider when they're making the decision. And so for me, when we talk about this whole posting versus non-posting thing, to your point, yo, you can twerk. I don't know, nobody's trying to be a killjoy, but don't post it.
Yeah.
Because somebody is going to make a decision, or they're going to make some sort of judgment based off what they're viewing. And so my question is, in your world, and it's a real question, is it better in your world to post it and be authentic and have folk, or you deal with the consequence of folk judging that? Or would it be better in your mind to still be, have fun in the moment, still record it, just not post it? How do you see that? Or do you see the world as being too mean by judging us based off one act?
I think it's a little bit of both. Like, I would probably err more on the side of privacy, just for my own sake. But at the same time, just because it's not posted didn't mean that this action didn't happen. There may still be people in that environment who are going to judge me because of it. So whether or not I post it just opens it up to a broader audience. But there's always going to be a level of judgment, regardless of anywhere I go.
Okay. And I think for me, it determines down, what do you want?
Yeah.
What do you want?
Exactly.
You know?
So, again, if you're comfortable with the perceived risk of whatever this brings, if you're comfortable with whatever can happen because of it or lack thereof, I think
post.
Yeah.
And stand on it.
And stand on it.
Right.
Yeah,
right. No, I like that. I like that a lot. Okay.
I mean, yeah, okay, yeah, that's all well and good, as long as you know, consequences.
See the old guy in the room. It's always the stick in the room, ready to just.
And if you're cool with the consequences, okay.
But that's where I believe we need to do. Us old people need to lean a little bit more on their end of, no, I'm standing on this. I'm not about to capitulate or try to be something I'm not, or try to present something that I'm not to appease you old people. I am who I am, and I'm standing on that. I like that. Now, I like to hear this young man say, but there are some consequences that could happen because of it.
Right.
And I think that's the key point. And that's why I want to drive home. Okay, so then what do you want?
So
do you want a job? Then don't post that twerk picture. You know what I mean? Do you want a job? Because that ain't it. That's all I'm saying. Or get that face tat.
Yeah.
That's all I'm saying. Because listen, there's nothing wrong with a face tat in theory, but when you have to go in front of clients and when you have to represent a business, then some unconscious bias creeps in and folks don't want to buy what you're selling. That's a real thing.
Absolutely.
You know? And so I think there's consequences with all action. So that's what it is.
Okay.
Know what I mean, Josh?
Yeah.
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 So there are things, so I think I brought up a festival.
Yes.
You brought up the festival.
Indeed.
Are
we allowed to say the name of the festival?
So back in my era,
back in my day,
in the golden era, the golden era of road tripping.
Yes, sir. Right. MapQuest.
You go. You had to go down to the ATL. You had to go to Virginia Beach.
Mm-hmm.
You actually definitely had to go to the Capital Region on Georgia Avenue.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? And it was so funny. So some years ago, one of the gifts for my college class reunion was a DVD. And the DVD contained footage from senior week circa 1990.
Oh, is that DVD still around?
Bro.
Do you know what a DVD is, by the way?
Yeah.
Okay. Just want to make sure.
And when I happened to look at the footage.
Were you on the footage? Okay. Okay. Just asking.
I am what they call a house head. So once the house music hits, it's a wrap.
Yeah.
But I'm looking at the footage and I'm sitting there like, wow. No, don't get me wrong. We had a great time.
I bet.
We had a great time. But it's just like, okay, so now some of that footage, from that time is making its way,
in my head.
to the current state. And you're sitting there,
and
you're like,
y'all running and hiding.
Yo. you know, so as I share with some of the young people that are in our mentoring group, hey, we weren't born old.
That's right. Right.
We were your age
Yeah,
once.
yeah.
We do know how to have a good time.
Yep.
But then when you look at some of the footage, you're like, oh my gosh. But now that's that same thing. Fast forward, it's no different.
No different.
It's just getting posted instantly.
And we didn't have that. It was maybe you may have, listen, you had to been there to see it and in front of the TV.
The whole concept of going viral is just
right.
Scary
to me.
It's scary.
It's scary.
So how does that impact, once it, goes back to the choices that, one can make when they, choose to post, certain things that they're doing, just living.
Do y'all fear going viral for the wrong thing?
Oh, I don't.
You don't?
Nah. But I understand that is
going viral for the wrong thing.
Yeah. I mean, I don't fear it just because I don't.
You ain't doing too much out here to be doing right. Okay.
But
I guess maybe is it?
Yeah, I would hate to have something associated with myself that I didn't intend to become like a thing.
There we go.
Or to be known as something that is not of me.
There we go.
Yeah.
I'm glad you at least understand that. I think that's the genesis of what I'm trying to get at.
Right.
Just understand that people are going to make some judgments on you, and so you want to make the best decisions as possible.
Yeah. But also just understand you can only do that to a certain extent. Because I would be lying I feel like I'd be lying if I said that certain people don't have certain perceptions of myself that I don't associate with myself.
Okay.
So
it's like regardless of what I do, there's still gonna be people.
Oh yeah, that's life. Yeah, that's good. Yeah, that's life.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's life. There's some folk who've only caught me like this.
Yeah.
Just and so they only know me as this hyper, really energetic guy. But in all actuality, I'm an introvert. That I enjoy quiet time.
Yeah.
That the less people around me, the better. Just because large crowds do something to me.
Yeah.
And then people and their just opinions.
Now you understand how we ended up getting along so well because we are literally the same person.
Yeah. I don't.
Yeah, the large crowd.
No, sir.
Yeah.
Yeah, no. I don't do that.
What is it? I refer to myself as a social introvert.
That's it.
Or what is it?
Ambivert. Yeah.
I enjoy being by my damn self.
But if they catch you in that moment when you're on.
I mean, there is a switch.
There's a right.
There is a switch. There is a little trigger. They're like, okay, yeah, I need y'all to just go ahead and just clear the dance floor real quick,
right.
so I can do just what I do.
Yeah, and then go back to my
and
home.
then I'll go back. Yeah. And then I'll just disappear.
Yeah.
Then I'll just disappear.
Yeah.
So
I'm misjudged often. To your point, folks will catch me in these type of moments. And then when I get around them again and I'm quiet and to myself, what's wrong with you?
Yeah.
Oh, actually, everything's right with me right now. You know what I mean?
Yo, I'm good.
What's wrong?
I'm great.
Listen, is what's wrong with what's happening right now.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? So,
exactly.
To your point, I totally take that point. Yeah.
So, social media, branding. What do we have to say about the balance of, I guess, going back, cultural identity and professionalism?
Oh, good one. You got something for Josh? I can jump right in.
Cultural identity versus professionalism? Oh, man. In terms of how do you balance it? I think it goes back to our initial conversation in the podcast in a previous episode where it talks about, who are you? And so I always tell when I'm talking with like people who are interested in coming into a corporate setting, understand that there are some things you're gonna have to that are gonna be fluid that you may identify with, and then there's some things where you're gonna have like a strong boundary where it's like I'm not compromising this in myself, and so you have to. I always encourage write those things down, determine for yourself like what you want, and so. And then the things that you don't necessarily, you may hold important, but may not as closely held. Like understand that you may have to in some battles, you may have to give some of those things up.
Oh, good.
You know what I mean? And so can you come out of those battles and look in the mirror and still have an understanding of who you are, I think is the important.
That's good, Josh.
So when it comes to like cultural identity and navigating like corporate culture, again, establish what you aren't willing to compromise.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
And again, be okay with understanding that this entity wasn't created necessarily for me to be comfortable. So you're going to ruffle some feathers naturally. It wasn't created with the idea of me in mind. And so there's also, you shouldn't take that personal in the sense of, it shouldn't, I don't think it should push you to withdraw or withhold. It just means that these people haven't experienced, that it's new to them. They haven't experienced it. And so just be yourself. Yeah.
I think that's why it's so important to be yourself.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's, for me, sorry to jump on your question, but the idea of humility and understanding that, yes, I have my culture, but so do you. And things in my culture could be very different than things in your culture, but just how I respect the elements in my culture, I should extend that to you as well. Mm-hmm. And I think that takes a certain level of humility and, frankly, understanding and openness to, I'm a little bit biased in this regard because I love the idea of culture. I'm fascinated by how people operate within culture, and I'm fascinated how culture can dictate how people operate.
Mm-hmm.
If
Absolutely.
that makes, you know
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? And so I'm just fascinated kind of by that mix between the two and how they kind of flow seamlessly within one another. But to come to work in a place where it's black people, white people, brown, red, whatever you want to call it, embracing that and showing up as your full self and understanding that this is a culture where we're supposed to be collaborating and working together. So there should be a level of congeniality here. So yes, there's going to be tiffs, and yes, there's going to be disagreements, but how do we handle those? And I think setting that tone and setting that atmosphere and not always being angry when someone steps on your cultural toe or being upset because some folk just don't know that y'all call it rice and peas and we call it rice and beans. Or that's callaloo and I'm used to collard greens. You know what I mean? And so it's, once we start to understand that there are so many nuances within each culture that we should celebrate and learn about and allow people space to say it or to express it, I think that ultimately will allow us to find that balance, understanding that I can be my authentic self. I can share things about my faith, and we know we're not supposed to at work, right? But I can share, because especially if that's something that's important to me.
Yeah.
There's ways of going about doing it is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
You know?
Right.
I think there's also just entering the corporate space, understanding there's also a corporate culture.
Right.
For said company.
On its own.
Yeah, on its own.
Right. On its own.
For said company.
Yep.
And so just realizing that at the end of the day, like your culture, however you want to bring yourself to work, at the end of the day, it cannot conflict with what they've already established.
That's a great point.
So just having like
culture can always be improved, but to your point, yes, 1,000%.
Yeah. And just, you're not just going to come in and trail, like things happen in stages. You can't just come in and expect like everybody's going to conform. This culture is how these people make money.
It's the quickest way I've seen people leave, go right out the exit.
Mm-hmm.
On day one, you think you about to come in here and change some stuff. Day two, let's start getting this. Start getting this person on out of here. How do we got to get this person on out of here? What we need to do? Because that's what's not going to happen. So sorry, but I just love what you just said. I love what you just said.
So I always think of in that question, it's not for me to come in and just trailblaze, but just push the boundary a little bit further, and then encourage the people that are going to come in behind me to push it a little bit further.
Somebody wasn't paying attention just now. I need you to say that one more time. And you need to look in the camera because there's a lot of people out here that don't understand that.
I hear you.
Uh-oh, like him.
Well, okay, like for me, like obviously I wear my hair the way I do, and I wear earrings, and I have nose piercings. And like before I moved, I would have people tell me like, oh, you should probably cut your hair. You should take out your piercings. And I understand it, right? Like, I'm not going to be naive to. But at the same time, it's like, I think those are small battles in the grand scheme of, like, at least the work I'm doing. And so it's like, it doesn't interfere with what's going on. And I feel like in order for somebody else to feel comfortable, it's like somebody's got to do it. But it's not in the sense of like, this is just how I want to present myself. Now, obviously, if it came between like me and a job, I would have to make that decision for myself of where I stand. But at the same time, I think we talk about pushing the needle forward. The only way that things are going to progress, like somebody had to step out of the bounds just a little bit to create some type of progress. But it's just understanding that that happens very slowly. And I'm only able to present myself at work just because that there's others who, just being black, were in spaces that blacks weren't even allowed. And now that I can be black in these spaces, okay, I can wear my hair like this. And then somebody else is going to come and do something even crazier. And it's just going to be like, I might be looking like I would have never done that. But I understand how we are here now. It's because of those who pushed the needle a little bit before. So,
Yeah, so all right. So what am I going to say to that?
That's why I shut up. You got to clip
just-
that will go viral. That monologue what Josh just said. That's all I'm gonna say.
Yeah,
That's all I'm gonna say.
Because
Good stuff.
you're
Great mind, bro.
absolutely correct.
Absolutely
You
correct.
are absolutely correct.
And that's the mentality of these young folk that we don't have.
That we don't have.
I mean that.
I got you.
I mean that.
I got you. Damn.
Right? He'll do that to you. Josh, that was powerful, bro. And it's so many. First of all, I know your peers would love to hear what you just said. But I think us, some of the older folks, some of us in those positions with those titles, need to hear it from you in context with everything, the brilliance that you've already displayed already. To me, it's almost similar to all these folk out here who are against cannabis smokers because they're so used to the stigma from 1980.
Yeah.
Lazy, lethargic, can't get nothing done, all that stuff, right?
yeah.
Where some of the more brilliant people that I know happen to consume cannabis or indulge in it, right?
Go figure, right?
Right, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? So I think it's interesting. And so the hair, same thing with the hair. What can he do here with hair like that? It's so crazy.
It has nothing to
to do with nothing.
It has
Exactly
nothing to
what he
do
said.
with productivity
None.
whatsoever.
In fact, it'll make him produce even more. He's in his element,
He's in.
you know? But again, us old folk need to hear in context what you just said. So I'm thankful for this
agree.
episode, my brother. Thank you for that.
I agree.
Not even just hear, but understand that because of they also push the needle forward, that we're like, it enables me to be able to then put, it just looks different. You know what I mean? Because like somebody might be telling them like way back when, if you're the first black person to be in investment banking, like somebody might have been in their ear like, you don't need to go over there and do that. Like let them, and that might have been a bold decision that was like, everybody's like, that's crazy. But now it's normal now. You know what I mean? And so now I can show up in that world and be black, and that's normal. But it took someone, it took someone where it was abnormal. So just understanding the older generation, understanding that like progress just looks different.
Right.
But it started with me. And so embracing it and not looking at it as like it's being arrogant. It's the normal progression of like how things have to go. They got to be pushed forward.
Yes, sir.
And also for the younger generation to realize like, again, you can't just come into a space and think you're going to have your way. You got to show respect to the generation that came before. So you got to acknowledge what's already here.
Oh, good one.
Yeah, you got to acknowledge what's here.
Acknowledge what is already
That's so
here.
good because they built it, and they'll feel some type of way. You come
And they
destroy.
went, and that's
I'm learning. No, that's good, Josh.
that's yeah.
So you got to show gratitude to what has come before. And then once you understand how what has enabled you to get there, all right, what can I do to push this a little bit forward? You know? Yeah.
So I got
Kudos to his parents. Did I say that on the his parents.
Yo,
My goodness.
that is,
I need one of y'all as a mentor.
I tell you, I'm speechless.
Good stuff, Josh.
I do have a question though, because
What's
I want to go back. I'll start. Torrance, what shaped your brand?
Me personally?
Yeah.
Okay. It's interesting. If you talk about this whole did I do it intentionally or retroactively? Like, did the brand precede even me understanding what was happening? I think so. And I think it was, for me, I'm a little bit of a quirky person. They call me the 13%. Like, I'm an INTP.
No, really?
I know. I have certain ways about myself, and that happen to show up in public spaces. So for me, I hate being late. I know everybody says that. I really do not like walking into anybody's space if I'm not ahead of time, actually.
Try to walk around with the last name Early. Go ahead.
Right. You can't. Does that not precede you before? Right. They probably waiting for you to walk in late.
What?
Mr. Early.
Oh,
Right?
really? Okay.
But I mean, little quirks like that, or I do something weird with my money. My money can't face opposite ways, so it has to be in certain denominations, and and so people notice little quirks, and they kind of make judgments about me. And I think it's some of those correlations that they make that are positive correlations. He's disciplined. I'm a congenial person. I like to collaborate. And so people notice that. People know I always like to get buy-in, diplomatic about a few things. That's just who I am innately. So that ultimately became my brand that people started to say, the market started to speak back to me on. Then becoming sort of a professional and even an entrepreneur, I started to realize there's real dollars tied behind that. There's real dollars behind people believing in me to be a respectable, upstanding, genuine, on-time person. So much so that they invite me in spaces that I would have never been invited to. They invite me in meetings that my business would have never been invited to, for the simple fact that they know who I am and the brand that I carry. And thankfully, many of those things are directly aligned with success. They're directly aligned with, okay, if I put this person in position, he's going to be able to look out for me when he gets in position. And so I think all of those things kind of just work in tandem to push the brand forward. So it was me innately. Folks spoke back to me, and then I doubled down on it by being intentional about it.
I got you. I got you. And just for the record, it only makes sense that the denominations, everything.
Oh,
isn't that the way it's supposed to be?
Maybe we're here with it, but some folks will just take their money, bundle it up, and throw it in their pocket. No, I got to take the time to.
How much money? Then how do you know how much money you have?
Thank you. So this is where my head. Are we talking crazy?
You're not.
Oh, okay. I thought it was just me. Same here. I wouldn't know how much money I had if I just kind of just threw it in, not having a denomination. I can quickly just go efficiency. So I say all that to say my whole life has been based around efficiency. If I walk into McDonald's,
organization,
thank you. Duh. If I walk into McDonald's and them jokers back there are just looking like they don't know what they doing, I'm walking out, man, because I can't take it. My spirit can't take dysfunction, if that makes sense.
I got you.
So it's been part of my brand.
I got you.
Yeah.
What shaped your brand, sir?
Do you know your brand? Because I got a few things I can say to you about your brand.
I don't consciously think about my brand. I think I spend more time thinking about what shapes my brand.
Okay.
So the people I'm around.
There we go. Good stuff.
What I listen to. How I dress. How I want to present myself. How I take care of myself. It's like going to the gym. What I eat. When I sleep.
1000%.
You know what I'm saying? How I spend my free time. I think all those things collectively shape my brand. And so if I'm okay and I know I'm spending time, I'm doing everything that I want to do that's for me, then my brand should be of something that I don't spend time thinking about my brand, because at the end of the day, like we determine, it's going to be determined by others. So the only time I'm conscious of my brand is when somebody is actually telling me, oh, this is what you know what I mean?
I got you.
So
I got you. I do run into him, in the gym from time to time.
You go to the same gym?
I haven't caught on to the whole fasting thing yet, though.
You got to. It's necessary. You intermittent fasting?
I fast every Monday, like a Monday and Thursday.
Is it more spiritual than anything, or is it a combination of both, or is it?
It's
because you see the effects on your body when you fast.
Yeah,
that's what I was really getting at. Yeah. You got to do it. It's crazy. I'm doing it now. That's how I know. That's all I'm saying.
So we're approaching 6 months of the whole dry thing,
Yeah.
right? And the only noticeable difference for me
Yeah.
is that I'm a little bit more easily agitated. Like
That's temporary.
we're talking about 6 months, dude.
I know, but in the grandest, never mind. I replace one vice with the next, so I can't really talk.
Okay.
But I understand the agitation, no question
Yeah.
about that. Mhm.
Yeah, I'm just slightly a little bit more
You're
easily
also getting older.
agitated.
Old people are agitated. The older you get, the more agitated you get about.
I think this is the last time I'm bringing this one up on the show because he
I mean,
likes to.
That's real though.
Thank you.
What's the direct correlation between agitation and not drinking?
Oh, see, playing around with these millennials if you want to. I bet you can't come up with an answer for that one.
Honestly, I don't have the patience.
That might be a personality thing, though. Yeah. I don't want to share too much.
Okay, whatever.
Yeah. We broke the dry spell, by the way. I broke mine.
Oh, is that why you were late this morning?
Nah, I was just up late.
So, well,
You still dry?
was that a year?
It was a year and a half.
Year and a half. Okay, it's not bad. That's not bad.
I'm not going to turn this conversation into something different. I've been dry for 7 years. It's the best decision I've ever made in my life. That's all I'm going to say about that.
Has it been that long?
Absolutely. Yes. Yes. It's been 7 years since you've seen me acting crazy.
It's all relative, sir.
It's relative.
Your brand is your brand,
It's the
whether
best
you're
decision.
dry or not.
And my brand has exponentially increased in the marketplace the moment I decided to go dry. That's all. For me. It's for anybody else, but for me, exponentially it boosted.
Yeah.
Listen, the market don't get a chance to see the dumb stuff anymore, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
All my dumb stuff in public was because I had alcohol in me. That's it. So for me, my brand went up, shot through the roof. The more folks started to realize, oh, that joker ain't acting crazy no more.
Yeah. And I think that goes back to, again, realizing what you put in and how that influences your
Yes, sir.
brain.
Yes, sir.
No, absolutely.
Good.
Absolutely.
No question about it.
Absolutely. I don't know about the fasting thing just yet, but that I'm consistent when it gets, when it comes to the gym. So,
It's not enough. You got to eat right, or them gains ain't gonna gain.
well, because of some form of conditions, I have to eat right most of the time anyway.
Okay, right.
Because
Okay, there you go.
it
There you
only
go.
takes once or twice to deal with gout,
Understood.
and then
Understood.
you're like, yeah, okay, red meat. Yeah, you're done.
But the fasting for me is also just a form of practicing discipline.
Discipline.
Yeah.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
I don't know if we recognize how controlled by food we are until we try to deny it.
Man, so you do a 24-hour fast, no food. And during lunchtime, I'll be at work. You smell like somebody could be on the opposite side of the office. I swear, I can smell exactly what they eating.
The condiments on it, all that. I can smell the onions, the
If they
relish.
I'm smelling the ketchup. You know what I mean? And then also one thing I've noticed is where my mind goes. So it's like, all right, even though I'm fasting, I'm not eating, but what am I focusing on? Because when it gets close to 5 p.m., when I'm close to breaking, my mind is like, okay, what Uber Eats deal I
Got
can
that
get
right.
so I can get a 2 for 1.
Right.
So I can double up on what but then it's like, all right, my mind starts thinking about food and but subconsciously I don't even recognize it. You know what I mean? Like how much time I spend thinking about food or influenced by till it's gone. But long story is, fasting for me is just more of a discipline. The health effects is just an added benefit.
Yeah.
I like that.
So
It's all good because you know what? At the end of the day, it still contributes to how we see ourselves and how others see us. It's part of our brain.
yeah.
I really, I actually laugh that, and I'm fully aware that part of my brain was the alcohol intake.
Mhm.
I'm fully aware of that.
Hmm.
However, these past few months not doing it and others still asking or, offering to, buy me a drink or something. No, I'm good.
Mm-hmm.
I'm good. But from a vantage point of noticing or being aware of what we all do,
Yep.
it's interesting how
There's power in that.
there is.
Just that acknowledgement of take a step back and take yourself outside of yourself and just see you and how you operate.
Yeah,
There's a lot of power in that.
absolutely.
Yeah, it gives you a chance to reinforce to yourself who you are.
There it is.
Yeah,
Not who you are in relation to you utilizing something else.
The dependency.
Yeah.
Yep.
So it's like some people may think that they're outgoing only when they drink.
I was one of them.
You stop drinking and you're still outgoing. The alcohol had no influence on
He's speaking my language right here.
it.
I will agree to that to a certain point. I'm not as outgoing.
You would think.
I know I'm not. My socialization has actually diminished since I chose to go.
Let me push back.
Okay.
Sorry,
Well, we're going to
sorry,
bring
Josh,
this
go.
episode to a close.
Yeah, I was saying, you're right.
anyway.
You're right. My bad. You're right.
So thank you for coming. Another great conversation with Torrance, with Josh, and thank you for allowing us to be in your space for these past few moments with the Early Impact Empowerment Group. Stay tuned. Stay on the scene for the next episode. I have no idea what we're going to be talking about, but I might have to limit Torrance's visits. But nonetheless, thank you. Blessings.